Coming up, it's an AFC West rematch. In Week 12, we saw Denver beat LA for the 16th time since 2011. The Chargers now look to split the series, and it's coming up next.
From the future home of Super Bowl 56, there's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
About ready to get us started. And we are underway in Southern California. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The Chargers set to go on offense for the first time, and they are led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2020. Now in his second season out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So these two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert looking middle, and it's incomplete. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense, just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. But Justin Herbert looking comfortable here in season number 2. He looked comfortable in season number 1 for that matter. But what's the game plan for defending and trying to limit him?
Oh, you've asked a really difficult question there because you're right. Year 1, he looked like a 5-7-year veteran, and he's only going to continue to get better. But with a guy who throws such a pretty ball and has such a great arm, throwing the long ball's got to be a blast for him. He wants to push the ball downfield. Doesn't mean he can't make all the other throws, but I want to take those away first and make him beat me by being accurate and dinking and dunking all the way downfield.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. On the ground, it's Eckler. And this time they're able to bottle him up as he'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Now a carry for the former first-round pick of the Chargers. It's Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. Despite a little power on the move, still tackled shy of the 20. The numbers a week ago for Melvin Gordon. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Now on 2nd and 16. Bridgewater in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And the defense has got it. Oh, a nightmare start offensively. This will be a touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. K.J. Hamler returning it. A dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think. Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 24-yard line. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Uses the stiff arm. He's to the 10, and finally taken down at the 4-yard line.
Let's go. He was brought down at the 4-yard line.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
An opportunity to get back to level after the fumble return touchdown. 1st and goal, Williams. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
On 2nd and goal, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack, and that makes things tougher here on 3rd and goal. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
McManus's point after is good, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Second and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Here's Herbert. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. More from L.A. in a moment. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Out of the gun, Herbert. And Cook has it left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the first down. They'll run for it with Eckler. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Bradley Chubb, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Herbert now. Herbert has it knocked free. The Broncos say they have it. They do. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field. Now you've turned it over, and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. To throw is Bridgewater. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Play fake. Bridgewater. Oh, Sutton, a nice catch. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Well, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
Bridgewater on first down, eluding the pressure right.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Second and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Throwing is Bridgewater. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos have taken the lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 14-7. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was the visiting Raiders who were able to come away with the road win. Derek Carr leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. J.K. Dobbins with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, as sharp as you can be throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in the victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Broncos in that first half. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They start the second half here with Williams. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Javonte Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there.
And the thing that stood out to me was his ability to continue through the initial contact. How many times do we see runners get slowed up and not get what they can on a run because of that first contact? But he kept the compass pointing in the right direction, kept the legs churning, and turned this into a huge play.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now Gordon on first down, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On second down, Gordon once more. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. To throw, Bridgewater. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos use this short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Chargers 7.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how the and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit.
Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
And talk about a quick answer. This looked like a missed assignment. You'd think someone would be able to rein him in after he makes this catch, but he's so slippery in the open field, he's able to take it all the way to the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Hamler now to return it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Bridgewater. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the former Bronco All-Pro, Chris Harris. And the Chargers are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, this offense, they keep wanting more, but they kind of got to be careful here, CD. I mean, we're still in the 3rd quarter. This game isn't over yet.
I would agree with you there because while they've had all kinds of success and hit on some deep balls like this, the one thing they can't do is start to get loose with the football. A lot of time left, as you mentioned, and if they keep turning it over, they'll bring them back into the game. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. The open man is Westbrook. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Herbert back to the air. That's the tight end Hurst with it. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he's got room. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 103 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Eckler. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I would think down 2 scores at this point in the 4th quarter, even with the loss there on 1st down, this has got to be 4-down territory. If you're the field goal kicker, your only purpose now is if you can run out for a pass or actually carry the ball into the end zone. Otherwise, don't even look at the coach.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chargers. Jared Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Denver's offense ready to go again. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And boy, there's that elusiveness on display, spinning forward and able to get 6 yards out of that.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Second down at 4.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he's got a first down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing here, Bridgewater. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Second and 4. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. On first down, it's Gordon. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 73 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking. My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for Denver, they continue to show they'll be a tough out in the playoffs as they move to 14-2 on the year.